Hello, Captains. I am your host, Brent Justice. Welcome to my gaming channel, Justice Gaming. Well, it's time to dive back into some Star Trek Online news. I am going to now continue to do more Star Trek Online news videos on my channel, so stay tuned for that. Stick to the channel, subscribe, like, all that jazz. All right, well, let's dive into some new Star Trek Online news, and there's some things here to go over and some things I have not read yet. I am on the StarTrekOnline.com webpage, as you can see, and I'm not going to go too far back on the news. I'm going back to here May 18th. I'm not going anything before that, and but I will keep up with all the new stuff coming out. This is basically the crux of all the new stuff, the major stuff that will be launching soon that you might enjoy in the game. So let's start with this first news post here called Explore Far From Home. If you're not familiar with my news posts that I do for Star Trek Online, I basically read the pages here, the news, and then give my thoughts on it. So stick with me here as I read through this. If there's like storyline stuff, I don't read that too much because you can go in and read for yourself. I'm mainly concerned about what's actually coming to the game, all the new equipment and new things like that, but I'll skim over some of it. So this is Explore Far From Home, and I have already read this particular news piece. Basically, they are bringing the latest season of Star Trek Discovery into Star Trek Online. Now, if you have not seen the latest season of Star Trek Discovery, this stuff will be foreign to you. You will not understand it. It won't make a lot of sense. So I do recommend watching the last season of Discovery if you want to figure out what all this stuff means and why it's here and why it looks like it does and all that stuff. So there will be spoilers in this video. I'm going to give you spoilers to that season. So if you haven't seen it, you may not want to watch this yet. That's up to you. But let me just give you my overall thoughts. While Star Trek Discovery, the series, has been very controversial and probably, in my opinion, not the best of Star Trek and not the best series of Star Trek, obviously. The last season of Star Trek Discovery, in my opinion, has been the better of Star Trek Discovery. That is saying a lot because I really disliked the first season of Discovery and the second season. I disliked the second season less than the first, but I really despised the first season. And the third season for me has been the better of Discovery. That is my personal opinion. But as an overall series, obviously, it's not the best Star Trek series. Anyway, they are bringing that last season into Star Trek Online. I'm interested in seeing some of those things in the game, and of course, we always knew that those things would come to the game. It was just a question of when. They all have already brought the Star Trek Picard stuff into the game. You can get Captain Book's ship, for example. I did not do a news piece on that, but that is in the game. So there's some Picard stuff there, and as Picard series continues, there will probably be more Picard stuff as well. But this one's about Discovery, so let's just read through this a little bit. Living through collapse is just living, blah, blah, blah. So I'm not going to read this part here, because that just kind of gives a background on the story and how that stuff's coming to the game. Obviously, this part's important. The future is someone else's problem, but it's your opportunity. Here we go. The finest in temporally displaced technology from the 32nd century is fresh on the market. So fresh, it hasn't even been built yet. Reserve yours today. So the Lobi Consortium is bringing in 32nd century temporal stuff. And of course, one of the things we're going to get is this Discovery Far From Home lockbox. This is a lockbox, so all this stuff, of course, you're going to need lockbox keys and so forth to open. I'm a little disappointed that most of this stuff, well, all of this stuff is in the lockbox. I wish it would come through other avenues. I would like to get these ships, for example, the refit Discovery. I would like to get that through the Zen store. I would rather do that. I don't want to buy lockbox keys and have to open lockboxes and have this chance for a ship. And then, of course, when someone does win it, they put it on the exchange for 5 billion credits, or whatever. I don't want to go through that method. That's hard to do. It's hard for people even like me to get those kinds of things. I'm never lucky on lockboxes to get the ships. I would rather be able just to use my Zen to buy the ship in the Zen store. But it's coming through the lockbox, so let's read about it. The Discovery Far From Home lockbox may find themselves fortunate enough to win the Crossfield Science Spearhead Refit T6. Detached nacelles, programmable matter interfaces, improved central processor, nanogel circuitry, a state-of-the-art cloaking device, and more. This upgraded refit of the original Crossfield class has been given the makeover of the millennia and is prepared to defend the Federation and its allies in any time period. True to its original lineage, the refit retains a measure of versatility and durability that places it among the best that the fleet has to offer when it comes to approaching the unknown with a sense of wonder rather than fear. So I don't know if they have information on this ship yet, but when they do, or if they do, in fact, I guess they do. It's one of the tabs I already have open, so we'll go over that in a second. So yeah, we're getting the refitted 32nd century Discovery, basically, from the 3rd season of Discovery. So there you go. We knew it was going to come to the game. Everyone knew that. It's a given, right? They're going to do it, and they're going to do it through the lockbox. A cool, cold, even new universal console that can be acquired in the Discovery Far From Home, the Parasite Ice Containment Vessel. Activating this console fires a parasitic ice cluster munition toward the target, which will form a growth of parasitic ice on the ship, rooting in place and dealing cold damage over time while the parasitic ice survives. Foes who are not players will additionally be taunted toward the parasitic ice. Further, projectile and cannon weapons have a chance to apply parasitic ice cluster munition to the target. The console also provides passive bonuses to cold, cannon, and projectile damage, cold damage resistance rating, and exotic particle generation. A new starship trait is also available, programmable matter enhancements. Activating a non-specialization bridge officer ability has a chance to provide a bonus, with the specific bonus being based on what profession the ability was. Engineering provides temporary health, tactical provides increased damage, and science cleanses a control or debuff effect. Control first. The Discovery Beyond the Burn lockbox also has a new space and ground weapon inside the 32nd Century Phaser Weapons Pack. 2 sets of each, one representing mainline technology, the other representing modifications and refits. 32nd Century Starfleet technology makes incredibly efficient use of resources, providing similar stopping power but at less strain to the gear. Captains can make advantages of this excess energy to rapidly recover the recharge times of their bridge officer abilities and kit modules for space and ground weapons, respectively. Refit and field-modified weapons provide more recharge up front, but less in total. Standard 32nd Century weapons provide the most recharge, but do so over time. Rarely, weapon packs contain 32nd Century Refit Vanity Shield, providing the aesthetics of the Crossfield Science Spearhead Refit to a ship that equips it in its Vanity Shield slot. Captains may also acquire Discovery Beyond the Burn kit module packs, each of which contains one of 5 new kit modules. They are all universal and can be used by any class. We have Parasitic Ice. Throws a seed of parasitic ice wrapped around a powerful catalyst that holds the targeted foe and deals cold damage over time. The ice spreads to nearby foes and from then to more foes through each instance of the ice fades when the original application runs out of duration. We have damage over time, 23rd Engineering. Okay, it's 23rd Century Engineering. Deploys a dot 23. No, it's the dot drones. That's right. Okay, dot 23. So, yeah, okay, got it. Deploys a dot 23 drone with an engineering specialty. All professions can use all dot 23 drones, but only one dot 23 may be equipped at any time. All dot 23s attack with a basic phaser weapon and have a special ability based on their specialty that is triggered by the captain's module usage. Engineering dot 23 drone supercharges deployed pets. Anytime the captain uses a kit module that creates a pet, all pets become charged with electricity for a period of time, dealing electrical damage to the nearest foe each second. Well, that's very interesting. I would love to electrify my pets. Sure. Sounds like fun. Then we've got the Universal Kit module for Science. Science special ability. Let's see. The Science .23 drone scans foes. Anytime the captain uses a kit module that controls a foe, the .23 scans it, reducing its damage resistance rating. Okay, and then we have the tactical one, which says here, the tactical drone attacks with a heavy phaser weapon. Anytime the captain uses a kit module that buffs the captain or bridge officer, the .23 attacks with a much more powerful weapon for a period of time. Then we've got the Universal Kit module Personal Transporter. Instantly beams the captain out of harm's way. A reticle then appears, which can be freely repositioned. When the kit module is reactivated, the captain beams back in the chosen destination and facing. Now, I like that. It goes very in line with the show and the personal transporters they have, but this allows us to, beam out of harm's way instantly and then choose where we want to beam back in with a reticle. That's very unique, a unique ability there. And game mechanic as well, new game mechanic. But I mean, that makes sense. I had anticipated something like that coming. They've had other ground transporting abilities like that before, kind of similar, not like that one, but they've had that kind of thing before. So yeah, I saw that coming. We've also got new captain's traits. We've got the Bond with Life ground, and I was reading in the forums, a lot of people are talking about this particular trait. So let's read about it. An active ground trait that allows the player to form a bond with a target foe animal below 50% health. So the animal has to be below health. Once a bond has been formed with the species, it becomes permanently available to use as a pet by using Bond with Life on a non-animal foe or an already bonded animal species. Doing so deploys your currently selected pet to assist you in combat. Lastly, using Bond with Life on any friendly target opens a contact that allows you to select which pet to use. The more animals a captain bonds with, the more powerful all such pets become. Boss animals are immune. Okay, so a lot of people are talking about this. They're talking about Pokemon-style battles in the forum and stuff like that with their pets, or just having a large armada of pets to use. Something which Star Trek Online has not really done big with. Pets have never really been a big thing in the game. They've only just kind of recently come into the game that you can use combat pets and that kind of thing, at least for me. I've been playing the game since its introduction, since it very first came out, and pets were never a thing then. The biggest pet we had was the Tribble you could pet for a buff. But now they have, pets that are non-combat pets and then combat pets. And this Bond with Life just takes that even further. And I don't really know how that's going to work out in the real world, in the game. I'm reading it. I'm not quite 100% understanding how it's going to work. So I guess we'll have to try it and see. But a lot of people are talking about it, so maybe it's a thing people will enjoy. Then we have this ground unyielding ideals. Using a revive power such as CPR applies a significant temporary health shield and bonus damage to the target and to yourself over a period of time. You've got upgraded gear, improves kit performance upon defeating a foe up to a high cap, lasts until being defeated yourself or until changing maps. You've got symbiotic ice, beam weapons gain an additional percentage of total damage as cold damage. You've got feel the weight of our presence. Each friendly ally on the map debuffs damage resistance rating for nearby foes, stacking up to 25 allies. Mines and torpedoes don't count, but hangar pets, distress beacons, turrets, and all other forms of allies do. You got redundant antimatter containment, improves damage resistance rating based on engine power. You've got unique duty officer, randomly transporting Saurian. A Saurian science officer lieutenant by the name of Schroeder, who frequently experiences difficulty with the transporter system, and that's in the TV show, is available to be recruited. I think his name is Linus or something. While he is assigned to active command duty, activating a kit module carries a chance that he will beam down to the surface to provide accidental assistance in the form of science bridge officer abilities, hyperonic radiation, tachyon harmonic, and exothermic induction field. There are many other prizes with the Discovery. Far From Home lockbox, you've got the Crossfield Spearhead, Vantage Shield, R&D packs, boosts, and other items as well. I was also reading in the forums that the Saurian they use in Star Trek Online looks nothing like the Saurian in Star Trek Discovery, which looks nothing like the Saurian we see in other series. So we've got different looking Saurians. They obviously have not done a precise job of keeping the Saurian look throughout the show or the series. And then Star Trek Online takes that further. He looks way more human. I'm looking at the picture here. Looks way more human here than what a Saurian should look like. Way more, for the eyes for one. So yeah, not exactly an honest look there. All right, we've got the Lobi store as new items. We've got the Trill Guardian staff, which to me looks just like the Iconian staff weapon. This unusual energy weapon can project a great deal of electrical damage to foes. So I like that. It does do electrical damage. Its primary fire builds a chain bouncing to an additional target, in which the same thing the Iconian one does, bounces to another target. The same primary target tagged repeatedly up to 4 additional bounces. Its secondary fire zaps and pushes away all foes in a cone. Its tertiary attack is a self-contained staff melee attack combo. Honestly, a lot of these things do sound like the Iconian staff weapon. It chains to foes and it pushes back as well on the secondary. So very similar, except this one does some electrical damage. So and looks a little bit different. That's pretty much it. Now, I'm a big fan of staff weapons. I love staff weapons, and I use the Iconian staff weapon on all my characters. So I will probably go for the Trill Guardian staff. I will try it out. All right, and we have the miniature .23 vanity pets. They are unsuitable for combat, but they are little traveling companions, come in lots of colors. Then we have the 32nd Century Federation uniform. This crisp and literally postmodern look represents the Federation in the 32nd century. But I have something to say about these uniform, folks. This is not the final iteration of the 32nd Century uniform. Oh no. Because I have seen previews for the 4th season of Discovery, the upcoming season, and they have changed the look of the uniform again. So this 32nd century uniform look that they're using here is only in that last season of Discovery. It is not going to continue. They actually change it up. It's going to now have a filled color. So to see how this has this red stripe here, well, the new ones are filled in. They have a filled in all red here, or a filled in all blue here, and then in like a different kind of stripe. So they're different now. So while these are relevant to the last season of Discovery, they are not relevant anymore to the upcoming season of Discovery, because Discovery can't make up its mind and decides to change things all the time because they can't figure stuff out. They don't have a set plan. I mean, it's obvious that no one has sat down and like, let's plan out a series for the next 5 years. Here's how it's going to go. No, they're just winging it season to season. That's very obvious. And then one of those winging it things is that the uniforms change a lot. And again, the 32nd century uniforms are going to change in the upcoming season. So these are now irrelevant, these uniforms. They were only in this one season of Discovery, and not even seen that regularly, because the Discovery people still wore their regular blue Discovery outfits while on Discovery. Even in the future, they never changed outfits until like the very end. So these uniforms were only seen by the 32nd century personnel, the Federation out there in the void somewhere, were only seen in those areas. So they were not even seen that much. So I get it. It's all that Star Trek Online had to go on at the time to use, so they're using that style of uniform. But it's very short-lived in the series. And now they're going to have a whole new variant to come up with. So it will be interesting to have that in game, I guess. But I do hope Star Trek Online quickly adopts the newer version of this uniform, because in my opinion, it looks better than these. These are very gray, very militaristic looking. The new ones, I think, are more along the lines of the colorful Star Trek we're used to. Anyway, that is the news for that lockbox. So that's coming. We expected it. It's going to be here in a lockbox. Let's move on. We got a new Klingon TFO coming called Remain Klingon. Again, a storyline here. I'm not going to read this storyline, but you can in the game, on the webpage. Basically, the gist is a new TFO is coming. So we're going to look forward to that. A Klingon-based TFO that maybe takes place above the Klingon homeworld. I'm not quite sure. But there we go. A Klingon-based TFO. I'm sure everyone will be able to play it, of course, every faction. But that's what we can expect. So I look forward to playing that. I will do a playthrough of it on my channel. A blind first-run playthrough. So be sure to subscribe so you see that video. I will do that. Let's go on here. Looks like we've got the specs now for the new Crossfield, the 32nd Century refit Crossfield. Appearing as the grand prize of the Far From Home lockbox, players will soon have opportunity to fly the updated 32nd Century version of the hero ship. The ship, as true of all Federation starships, may only be commissioned by players that either began their career with the Federation or later allied through their Romulan or Dominion storyline missions. So if you're a Klingon, no. Captains from the here we go. Captains from the KDF who have reached level 65. Oh, they'll also be eligible. So you will be eligible to fly the ship as a Klingon. Just you got to reach level 65. And it is part of the cross-faction flying unlock achieved at that level. So that's what allows you to fly that. But here are the specs on it. Detached nacelles, programmable matter interface, central processor. We saw this already. Let's just look at the details. It features a Commander Science. So it's science ship, Commander Science, a Miracle Worker Specialist Bridge Officer seat, and a Lieutenant Universal Command Bridge Officer seat. Tier 6, obviously, Federation or Federation aligned. And you have completed the tutorial. You get a hull modifier of 1.4, a shield modifier of 1.1. Now, that's a pretty low shield modifier for a science ship, to be honest with you. It has a higher hull modifier than a shield modifier. Usually, science ships have a higher shield modifier. Interesting. 4 forward weapons. That's more than most typical science ships, which have been 3. So this is 4. Aft weapons 3, device slots 3, bridge officer stations 1, lieutenant commander tactical 1, ensign engineering 1, commander science, a miracle worker 1, lieutenant universal command 1, a lieutenant commander universal. 3 tactical, 3 engineering, 5 science consoles, 1 universal. Base turn rate of 11, impulse modifier 0.2, inertia 60, plus 5 to weapon, plus 5 engine, plus 5 to shield, and plus 15 to auxiliary. The Quegian Assault Craft Universal Console. The Innovation Ship Mechanic can equip dual cannons. Federation Battle Cloak, 32nd Century. Apparently that's going to be a little different. Secondary deflector slot, sensor analysis, subsystem targeting, the Science Vessel Starship Mastery Pack, and it's got an Admiral ship as well. And there's the Quegian Assault Craft coming out from it, so I guess that's going to be a little pet it has, or an attack fighter. Let's read about it, because I didn't know it was going to have that. By activating this console, a Quegian assault craft may be launched from the ship's aft shuttle bay to come to your aid in combat. The ship is built to damage and harass foes, and it's extremely mobile. It will remain in combat until recalled or disabled. If disabled, it will automatically recall itself and place the console on recharge. Upon launch, the Quegian assault craft will follow your targeting to the best of its abilities, damaging and harassing whichever foe you're currently targeting. The agile and fast vessel is equipped with multiple phaser weapons, photon torpedoes, and the abilities listed below. Smasher Assembly, Supernatural Smash, okay, Rock and Roll, Again, I haven't flown this ship. It's, I guess, similar to the player version of the ship. I don't know what its abilities are. Cannon Rapid Fire 1. This console additionally provides a passive bonus to outgoing hull healing, max hull capacity, recharge time for Miracle Worker Bridge Officer abilities. So, interesting. Let me gather my thoughts on this. Okay, so if you're a science ship, if let's say you play this as a science character, you're going to have photonic fleet. So that's a lot of ships you could have at your arsenal. You could, power up your photonic fleet, right? And then also launch this craft. That's like 4 ships right there helping you. And then let's say you've got Nimbus, or you've got the Delta Flyer, or you've got the Swarmers ability. You can call in those ships as well. You could have actually an arsenal of ships if you're a science character playing this ship here. And then you have the additional, assault Queegian assault craft with it. That's kind of cool, actually. I think I'm going to do that. I want to see that in action. Starship trait, universal designs. Each time you activate an ability of a universal console, your ship gains a boost of universal critical hit chance and critical severity. Each activation of this trait refreshes the duration of all existing stacks, and you may have up to 5 stacks active simultaneously. Honestly, it doesn't sound like a bad ship. I have played the Crossfield Science Spearhead in this game. In fact, I've got a review of that ship. I have had quite good success with that ship. It's a powerful science ship in this game. Can't speak to what it is in the show or, what it should be, because it's a 23rd century ship and all that. But it in the game, it pulls its weight. Let me just say that. It pulls its weight. So I can only see this ship improving upon that more. Now, it doesn't state here what the cloaking device does, because it's a 32nd century cloaking device. I don't know what makes that different from the other cloaking devices they have in this game. They got a couple of different types of cloaking devices. One that you can enable, but you cannot... it's not a combat cloaking device, which means you have to be out of red alert to re-enable it. And then you got the combat cloaking device, which you can enable even if you are in red alert. But I don't know what the 32nd century version of the cloaking device does or operates. So that will be interesting to find out, I guess. See what's different about that cloaking device. I'd imagine it's like a combat cloaking device. I don't know what else they could add to it, though. I guess I'll find out when I hopefully one day get this ship, which may never happen because I'm not that lucky and I have no energy credits, literally. So that could be interesting. But yeah, I do want this ship. I want to try it out. I just don't think my chances are very good at getting it. Okay, so now we have these tabs here, which I have not read yet. This is new stuff I haven't read. Only Qo'noS endures. As part of our upcoming content release from May 25th to June 24th, so a whole month, for PC captains, and later this year for console, a special event calls to glory. Only Qo'noS endures. This new event will provide brave captains with honor and epic rewards. The Imperial Assault ground set. Read on to find more. The Imperial Assault ground set. A new ground set. Looking forward to that. So what date am I recording this? I'm recording this very early on May 22nd. So this says this will come out May 25th until June 24th. So right around the corner here after this weekend, this will be coming out. So looking forward to that. Event progress. Participating in this event grants daily progress towards the grand prize, the 4-piece Imperial Assault ground set. I assume this is when they're also going to release the new TFO, right? Obtaining, or is this the TFO? Probably, because that's how they do that, right? Then you have a new TFO, and then you have the grand prize. Yeah, okay. Obtaining the Imperial Assault ground set requires 40 daily progress, and captains can earn 2 daily progress per account per day by playing either of the brand new episodes. Oh, there's going to be new episodes, or the brand new Task Force Operation. Okay. Daily progress can also be earned by several other thematically appropriate challenges. In total, 3 available missions and 3 TFOs reward 2 daily progress each, and 6 available patrols provide 1 daily progress each. Once captains have obtained 40 daily progress on their account, they can claim the Imperial Assault ground set. After that, the event will still be playable, granting a scaling dilithium reward that begins at 8,000 dilithium ore and scales to 1,000 for every day you participate in the event, up to a cap of 50,000 dilithium per day. Captains will also have the option to purchase their remaining progress in the event store, event with Zen. The price for this buyout will be prorated, based on your progress. So let's read about this Imperial ground set. I did not know this was going to be the reward. Okay. A car's web of deception tangles around him as he approaches the divisive hour, blah, 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 critical strike, okay. His signature blend of brutal force and cunning electronic subterfuge are on full display in his personal regula, including the devastating mycelial rift. His armor contains a fabricator capable of deploying drones, which in turn open a personal rift on his enemies. The set's weaponry combines nanopulse plasma and traditional disruptor technology, allowing either the pistols of the Batleth to inflict foes with both a plasma burn and disruptor damage resist penalty simultaneously. The shield contains the always important backup plan should things become untenable. It refills itself and provides several seconds of enormously improved critical strike chance. However, it is in combination with each other that these devices truly shine. As these elements gather, they rapidly become more than the sum of their parts. Engaging foes with weaponry taxes the processing power of the technology protecting their fragile bodies, making it ripe for a cunningly timed hack two-piece to slow their escape. With a third system in place, the personal decimation of a disloyal squad becomes almost elegant. When many foes experience Beige three-piece at the same time, kit module and the armor's mycelial rift drone fabricator recharge times are dramatically reduced. With all four items in place, Imperial Destiny 4-piece is assured. The armor's mycelial rift drone fabricator deploys 2 drones at once. Cunningly timed hack roots foes, and experienced Bij applies a colossal bonus to kit performance for a moderate duration. Well, I read that. I have no idea what any of that means. So it seems if you have 2 pieces of this, you get the cunningly timed hack. It improves kit performance, and after using a kit module, your next weapon attack applies cunningly timed hack, slowing the foe in a radius around the target. The mycelial rift drone fabricator applies cunningly timed hack as the rift begins to open. Then if you have the 3 pieces, you experience the Bij. Improves a critical chance, killing 5 foes within a brief window, recovers half the recharge time of kit modules and mycelial rift drone fabricator. Then if you have 4 pieces, you get Imperial Destiny, which improves critical severity, improves the rest of the set. Cunningly timed hack roots foes. Mycelial rift drone fabricator deploys 2 drones at once. And the Bij applies a colossal bonus to kit performance for a moderate duration. Whew. Well, that's a lot of words, and I guess we're just going to have to try it in combat to see how it works. I like the thing where it releases drones. That's cool. But, okay. Yeah, that's, like I said, a lot of words. Going to have to try it out to see how it actually works and what it does and how beneficial it is. But it's a ground set, and I'm looking forward to it because as a Klingon, you don't really have a Klingon reputation. You know, a lot of the reputations are kind of centered around, well, a faction, or at least you could find a reputation that fits a faction well, or fits an alien species well. But the Klingon, if you're a KDF character, there's no Klingon stuff, except there is Honor Guard. I take that back. There's Honor Guard. Okay, yeah, there is Klingon stuff. What am I thinking? But there's not a Klingon-like reputation, so you have to get it through the through other means. Kind of lost my train of thought here. Hold on. I guess what I'm trying to say is we need more Klingon-based reputation stuff. And so this ground set provides that. It's finally another Klingon-based thing that we can use. I know what I was thinking of. we don't really have a Klingon space set. No, we do have Honor Guard on space, too. Man, I'm like losing my mind. Well, let's go back to my original thought. We need more Klingon-themed reputation stuff. And this is a Klingon-themed ground reputation kind of thing. It's not reputation per se because it's through the reward system for TFOs and missions, so it's not in the reputation, but you could view it as that. It's a kind of thing that benefits your ground character, and it's Klingon-based, and that's good because we need more of that. That's all I'm trying to say. Golly, convoluted way to say all that, huh? Well, let's keep reading. New bridge for KDF captains. As part of the next update to Star Trek Online, KDF Align captains on PC and later on console will gain access to a brand new ship interior for free. This new bridge, originally shown in the reworked Klingon tutorial, will replace the default Klingon bridge and be the bridge of your first bird of prey. The bridge includes all of the usual amenities and an additional crew room to invite your friends to sit at the and contemplate your honor. It also includes the other default Klingon ship interior decks, but these have not been updated. Okay. So basically, they are continuing this Klingon theme that they said they were going to do, some big Klingon updates this year, and they're continuing to do that. So it's good to see the Klingons get some love. 4 days of giveaways. The finale of the Klingon Civil War is almost here. To celebrate, we thought we'd share some of the bounty of the Klingon Empire with you, including a free uniform, free playable species, excellent, and 2 ways to power up your favorite characters. Starting tomorrow, which is actually right now, 5/22, and running until Tuesday, 5/25, you'll be able to claim a new item every day in the Promotions tab of the Zen Store. So on 5/22, which is today, you get 12 inventory slots, once per account. Well, I'm definitely claiming that. On 5/23, 100% off Klingon Academy uniform. Definitely want that because I don't have it. 5/24, 100% off Parisian species. I think I want that. I don't think I have a Parisian character. I know I don't, actually. Yeah. Okay, I want that. And 5/25, 1 T6X upgrade. Yes. Yes to that. Thank you. I will definitely be putting that on a ship. So I will be claiming one of those a day. Please go into the game, claim your own, because free gifts are always fun, right? I like free things. Well, that seems to be all the current news. That brings us up to the most current news right now. We'll probably get more news next week as all these things start developing and coming out, especially when the new TFO is released and I guess some new episodes or new missions to play. Looking forward to that. If you like what you hear here, you like seeing all this stuff, consider subscribing to my channel. I will be having videos on these things. I'll play through the new TFO. I'll play through any new missions. And anything that I grab that's new, we'll take a look at if it's worth it. And definitely, if I get the new refit Crossfield, I want that ship so bad. I will review the ship. So, we'll see what happens. I'll try. I don't have really any master keys. I don't really have the resources to get a lot. So I don't know what I'll do, but maybe it probably won't be anytime soon, but one day in the future I'd love to have that ship. But I will cover all the other stuff that I can cover in the game for sure. So yeah, if you like what you see here, consider subscribing and giving the video a like. It helps it gets noticed more. Really want to build up the channel more, get more people to view these things and find the game and enjoy it. And as I said, I will be bringing more Star Trek Online news as is relevant. If there's nothing new to cover, won't do that. But if there is new stuff to cover, I'll wait till the end of the week or whatever and bring you a new news video or whatever and get back into that. I think that'll be a lot of fun here. So thank you for watching and stay tuned for the next one.